Trump administration initiative. The program, called the Tech Corps, would fall under the Peace Corps. It will deploy up to 5,000 volunteers and advisors over the next 5 years. The goal is to help partner nations adopt American-made AI tools and steer them away from Chinese alternatives. Officials say it's part of a broader effort to win the global AI race and expand U.S. tech exports. It also reflects a shift in mission for the Peace Corps, which was founded in 1961 during the Cold War as a goodwill diplomacy effort. The Tech Corps would focus on countries that don't yet have strong AI infrastructure in place. Funding is expected to come from congressional support, corporations, and charity groups, with senior experts helping guide volunteers both on the ground and remotely. Staying on Washington's AI push, Taiwan has overtaken China as the U.S.'s top source of tech imports for the first time in decades. A Friday Commerce Department report shows imports from China fell 44%, or roughly $21 billion in December. Meanwhile, shipments from Taiwan more than doubled to around 25 billion, fueled by a growing demand for AI chips and servers. The shift highlights Taiwan's growing role in the global tech economy, boosted by a new trade deal and strong AI-driven growth. Now, almost a third of the island nation's exports go to the U.S. Earlier this month, Taiwan raised its 2025 GDP forecast to over 7.7%. Coming up. Welcome to China in Focus. I'm Tiffany Meyer. Our top story. In Munich, the U.S. and China presented sharply contrasting visions for global security, including their approach to Europe and the Taiwan Strait. It comes as President Trump plans for a high-stakes visit to China in early April, where he's expected to meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says Europe and the United States can build a new Western century against adversaries like China. A retired lieutenant colonel comments on that. Two Chinese-American Winter Olympians, Eileen Gu and Alyssa Liu, sparking discussions about money and principles. And as Cantor Freedom speaks out.
The Chinese government understands the power of the symbolism. It uses celebrities, sports, and global events to project an image of legitimacy and strength.
And a new study reveals that over 2,000 groups linked to the Chinese Communist Party are operating in the U.S., Canada, the UK, and Germany. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi delivered back-to-back speeches Saturday at the Munich Security Conference. Their remarks highlighted sharply different visions for the future of global security. Rubio emphasized what he called the shared roots of the United States and Europe, saying America is a child of Europe. He also stressed that the Western alliance must defend its civilization and undertake reforms to fulfill the goal. Meanwhile, Wang described China and Europe as partners rather than rivals. However, he avoided directly addressing concerns over Beijing's support for Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It's an issue that European leaders view as a direct threat to the continent's security and stability. Beyond Europe, Taiwan remains one of the central flashpoints in U.S.-China tensions.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi again promoted the One China principle, calling Taiwan an internal issue for Beijing. He also escalated tensions with Japan, accusing its stance on Taiwan of signaling militaristic revival. Last year, Japan's prime minister suggested Japan might intervene militarily if China attacked Taiwan. In response, Japan's foreign minister and chief cabinet secretary condemned Wang's comments, calling them factually incorrect and without basis. Meanwhile, Japan's ruling party scored an historic victory in last week's parliamentary elections, signaling strong support for its stance on regional security. Taiwan's foreign minister also fired back at Wang, accusing him of distorting international opinion and condemning China's military provocations as a threat to regional stability. According to intelligence reports, Xi Jinping has ordered China's military to be ready to take Taiwan by 2027, if necessary, while countering any U.S. military response.
When a dictator says he's preparing to do something dangerous, all of us must take him at his word. That reality makes 2026 an important year, one in which we must prepare at home and abroad for all scenarios, using all available tools of our national power. The goal is simple: to ensure Beijing never decides that aggression against Taiwan would be fast, cheap, or successful.
Although U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio didn't mention Taiwan directly, he noted that U.S.-China interests are deeply at odds. And over in Washington, President Trump has escalated arms sales to Taiwan. Meanwhile, Congress moves forward with new support legislation, including the Taiwan Protection Act, aimed at deterring Chinese military action through economic sanctions.
带您关注中共在国际上的渗透是无所不在，就算身处海外，有些异议人士也难逃监控。一位前中共情报人员表示，虽然很难发现在美国、加拿大的北京间谍，但还是有一些线索可以辨识他们的真实身份。一位在2023年叛逃至澳洲、化名为艾瑞克的前中共公安部特工，在卧底期间负责监视海外异议人士。据英文《大纪元时报》周一报道，艾瑞克受访时表示，要确定一个人是否在为中共从事境外间谍活动非常困难，就连专业情报机构也要耗费心力。但他指出，专制国家的情报系统存在固有的缺陷和弱点，这是从事卧底工作的特工无法完全克服的。这也为海外意见人士提供了一种辨识方法。艾瑞克说，要判断一个人是否是中共特工，就看他是否能独立果断地做出决定。因为在某些问题上，间谍必须向上级请示，所以只能先含糊其辞或口头承诺。另外，伪装拙劣的间谍在交谈中可能会显得心虚或闪烁其词，但这需要靠个人经验和直觉去发现这些迹象。对于中共在国际社会的渗透，艾瑞克表示，加拿大是北京的重点目标之一，原因是加拿大宽松的移民政策与美国相比相对薄弱的反间谍能力，而且还是中共极力想要渗透的五眼联盟等重要组织的成员。事实上，中国问题专家伯顿曾表示，中共在加拿大派驻的外交官多达176位。艾瑞克表示，除了中共中央政府，所有省级公安部门等都会向海外派遣人员。如果把与中共合作的所有人都算在内，那在加拿大为北京工作的人数可能超过1000人。新唐人电视台记者郭约西，美国报道。